All right, good afternoon everyone. Chris here from Hobie Fishing. Well, Mallacoota. I don't know what it is that you continue to do to us or what it is that we've done to you, but needless to say, some of us seem to think that you don't want us there. Look, the weather. We know that we went through this back in the middle of the year, and I guess we had the ability at that point in time to set a postponement, which is probably one of the first events in Hobie Fishing history that we've actually postponed an event. This weekend, things are definitely looking in a very, very similar sense to what they were back in the middle of the year. However, I guess in our circumstance, it has changed. It is the final round of Series 15 of the Hobie Kayak Fishing series, and we would really, really like to make sure that we have options available to us and to each and every one of the 101 anglers that we already have entered for this event to make sure that we can get this one to come off. The lakes there, bottom lake, top lake at Coota, in the weather that we are starting to see, that Brad will grab a screenshot of sort of here through the Saturday and Sunday, really do not allow us the ability to be safe on the water for every competitor that we have there. So what do we do in that respect? We try and find an alternate. Rather than launching from the bottom lake location, which is where we started our Australian Championships from last year, and unfortunately with a lot of the space restrictions that we would have had at Carbathon, that have basically moved us already back down the front, and taking the lakes out of an option, what do? We move to the rivers. It's just that simple. So the Wallagaraugh River and also the Genoa River seem to be quite plentiful. There's a lot of anglers that have fished those spaces over the years on pre-fish days, on lay days. A lot of the boating tournament anglers have obviously making their way all the way up into the river systems. So in the interest of trying to make certain that we have the available opportunity to run this event, the likelihood, and in working in conjunction with each Gippsland Shire Council, we did have a look at the Gypsy Point ramp. But with anglers nudging that 101, 102, maybe even 103, by the time we actually get down there on the weekend, it is not enough notice period to be able to actively work with all of the community engagement and all the residents and other businesses that are in that little precinct. I think it's about a maximum of 25 car spaces that would have otherwise been available to us at Gypsy Point. And maybe even in and around the streets, we might have got another 40 or 50 cars at best, but that certainly does have an impact to the local residents, the local businesses, and then also what we don't want to have is conjecture and issue, with the local community that's there in Coota that has been so good to us over the years. So with that being said, what we are looking at doing, and yet to be exclusively confirmed, is make our way further up the river system, into what is, if I get this pronunciation correct, the Wallagaraugh Caravan Park. I've spoken to David up there this morning and he was absolutely amazing. From starting off with a completely cold call, it was like, look, we've got no problem, we'd be happy to have you. And it definitely looks like it's going to be the angle that we are likely to take, based on the weather conditions that we've got in front of us there at the moment. So to give each of you a bit of an idea of what we are looking at on the Google map, it is about 9 kilometres to get back down to, I guess, the start of the river system out of the top lake. So there is ample fishing, I guess in this instance, if we might call it south of what we intend to have as our start line, and then you've still got all of the northern system of that river making your way away from the start line to the left rather than to the right. To give you some idea of what that is with respect to what you would have done starting in the bottom lake, from our regular start line making your way up to that river system, that in fact is a little over 10 Ks. So it's just to give you an idea of proximity where we're likely to be. We will come to everybody by Thursday of this week with an absolute guarantee of what we're doing, so that if anybody does need to either make some changes to their plans or need to get in contact with us to say, look, I can't make it, or I've got to change the plans, whatever that might be, we'd love to be able to make sure that we've got advance notice so that when you do go to do your pre-fish, you know that the location that you're going to be pre-fishing, so that you are, I guess, giving yourself the best opportunity to make the most of the weekend. So again, it was just a quick snapshot of where our heads are at right now. Angler safety, as we have always said, is the first and foremost for the team at Hobie Fishing. We've got a couple of younger entrants that are going to be with us this weekend as well. Really looking forward to seeing a few new faces. And I just can't tell you how thankful we are as an organisation to have a field as of today at 101 anglers. So this weekend, of course, is the first of the naming rights rounds for both Burley Pro and the team at Fish Tech Solutions. So really looking forward to sort of giving this one a really, really good kick and making sure that we get a great event in on behalf of those two sponsors. And we're really looking forward, of course, also to actually seeing Marty Gittins on site with us this weekend. Marty's got some fantastic prizes that he's putting up for the event, so it'll be really great to see each and every one of you show your appreciation for another one of Australia's great kayak accessory manufacturers. So that's where we're at. That's what we know as of today. We've been in contact with the council, we've been in contact with the various, obviously, caravan parks and things to try and make sure that this round definitely goes ahead. So we're not changing our plans. The team at Hobie Fishing are definitely going to be there. We hope that this doesn't change any of your plans either. And if there's anything that we can do, of course, reach out via media@hobiecat.com.au and we'll do our very best to be back to you as swiftly as we can. Outside of that, that's what we know. That is the site map. This is the likely launch site for the Wallagaraugh River Caravan Park that we are aiming for. And if anybody else wants to see what we're seeing, jump onto windy.com, have a look at those forecasts, have a look at the Bureau of Meteorology, have a look at Willy Weather, go wherever you like to go. But at the end of the day, there is some governance there coming off the back of what will be decided from the Bureau of Meteorology, just making sure that we do have angler safety at the forefront of every decision that we do make. So you'll get another update from us momentarily. But for now, if you're doing any planning and you want to do some research, that's what you need to base it on. Rightio, over and out.